Welcome to the video on business research methods, focusing on questionnaire design. I am PM Dr. Abdul Hafaz bin Nga, Senior Lecturer in the Faculty of Business, Economics, and Social Development. Our learning outcomes include explaining why validated items should be used, identifying when new items are necessary, recognizing common design mistakes, and applying best practices for selecting, adapting, or developing measurement items. There are 8 key steps in designing a questionnaire. These steps range from defining your research objectives and identifying constructs to designing the final layout and format. Step 1 is defining research objectives. This identifies the manager's decision and the necessary information to collect. A well-defined objective prevents collecting unnecessary or irrelevant data. Step 2 involves identifying constructs and variables. A construct is an abstract idea, like service quality, while variables are how the construct is measured in practice, such as reliability or empathy. This connects your questionnaire to the conceptual framework. The ServQual model illustrates this, where service quality is measured by 5 variables: reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and tangibles, all leading to satisfaction. Identifying these variables gives your item structure and academic rigor. Step 3 is determining the type of data required, which guides your choice of questions and scales. Data types include nominal, ordinal, and interval/ratio, such as Likert scales. Step 4 is to develop or select items. You can develop your own items, common and exploratory studies, or adopt existing validated scales, preferred in academic research. Validated scales improve reliability and comparability. Developing new items is only necessary when validated scales are unsuitable, unavailable, or insufficient. While existing scales are preferred for their proven reliability, new item development is sometimes essential. One situation is when the construct is new or emerging, such as new technology adoption concepts like AI trustworthiness. If the concept is new, researchers must create items from scratch. A second situation is when existing items do not fit the research context. This occurs if items were developed for a different industry, cultural setting, or respondent type. In these cases, items must be adapted or newly created. The third situation is when existing items are too old or outdated. Business environments change quickly. New items ensure the construct reflects contemporary behavior and expectations. Fourth, you may need new items when existing scales don't fully capture the construct, which may have multiple dimensions. Additional items should be developed to cover any missing dimensions. The fifth situation is when existing items are poorly developed or of low quality, suffering from ambiguous wording or weak reliability. They cannot be used without redesign, so new items offer a more accurate and reliable measure. Finally, new items are needed when a study requires high customization. This is common when practitioners need items tailored to unique business processes, customers, or operations. No existing scale would reflect such specific situations. The seventh reason for developing new items is when no validated scale exists for your target population. Even a known construct may not be validated for specific groups like factory workers or seafarers who work in different settings. In summary, a study needs to develop new items when the construct is new, existing items don't fit the context or are outdated, existing scales are incomplete or unreliable, organizations need tailored items, or when no validated scale exists for the target population. Conversely, researchers should use validated items whenever possible. A validated scale has been tested for reliability, validity, dimensionality, and clarity, significantly strengthening the credibility of the research. One reason to use validated items is when the construct is well established in the literature, like customer satisfaction or job satisfaction. Validated items have proven accuracy and a strong theoretical foundation. Second, use validated items when aiming for high reliability and validity, as they have been rigorously tested using techniques like Cronbach's alpha and confirmatory factor analysis. This reduces the risk of measurement error. Third, use validated items when you aim to replicate or extend previous studies, such as testing the same model in a new industry. This ensures comparability and consistency across studies. Fourth, validated items are essential for quantitative and hypothesis-driven research. They provide stable measurement properties needed for advanced statistical analyses, like regression or structural equation modeling. Fifth, when studying complex or multidimensional constructs like trust or brand equity, Validated scales help ensure that all dimensions are captured correctly, which is difficult with self-developed items. Sixth, using validated items saves time and reduces research risk. It allows you to bypass the long, rigorous process of literature review, item generation, and pilot testing required for new scale development. Finally, when only cultural or linguistic adaptation is needed, use validated items and adapt them using back translation and expert review. This is far more efficient than creating new measures from scratch. In summary, use validated items when the construct is established, high quality is required, you are replicating research, the study is quantitative, the construct is complex, you want to save time, or when simple adaptation is sufficient. Step 5 is choosing question types. Common types include Likert scales for attitudes, multiple choice for factual data, and open-ended questions for deeper insights. The choice dictates the necessary analysis methods and software. Step 6 focuses on ensuring the quality of wording. Avoid double-barreled questions, leading or loaded questions, ambiguous or technical terms, and unnecessary negative wording to prevent poor data quality. Step 7 is organizing the flow of the questionnaire. Start with simple questions, group items by theme, and place sensitive or demographic questions towards the end. A logical sequence maintains motivation and readability. Step 8 is designing the layout and format. For paper, the layout must be clean and consistent. For online questionnaires, use progress bars, clear instructions, and logical page breaks. Good design reduces respondent fatigue. This section summarizes the process of measurement selection, focusing on how to use adopted and adapted measurements. Adopted measurements are used exactly as they were originally developed, without modification. The advantage is their strong established reliability and validity. This is recommended when the context closely matches your study. Adapted measurements involve modifying items to fit the context, language, or objectives, such as changing wording or translating. Critically, adapted scales must be re-evaluated for reliability and validity, as modifications can alter measurement properties. An example of adaptation is changing the context of the study. If the original scale was developed for halal supply chain adoption, the items can be adapted for chatbot adoption. Next, let's review common mistakes in measurement selection. These include combining items from different sources, reducing or adding items to establish scales, and using items with a different construct definition. Combining items from different sources is a mistake because each scale is developed based on a specific construct definition, framework, and validation process. Mixing them introduces inconsistency. Mixing items causes the scale to become inconsistent, distorting the factor structure and leading to a loss of construct validity. This results in poor reliability, so always take all items for a variable from a single source. The second mistake is reducing or adding new items to establish scales. Validated scales work as a complete set, and altering them disrupts the balance of factor loading and dimensionality. New items introduce unvalidated content. The impact of this mistake is conceptual invalidity. The scale is no longer considered validated, and its psychometric properties become unknown. For instance, removing items from a trust scale may cause it to fail to represent all dimensions of trust. The third mistake is using items based on a different construct definition. If your study defines a construct one way, but the items measure it according to a different definition, the measurement is conceptually incorrect. This leads to conceptual invalidity and theoretical confusion, meaning your findings will be inaccurate. Ensure the items you select align perfectly with the definition of the construct used in your study. In conclusion, designing a high-quality questionnaire requires careful attention to measurement principles. By avoiding common mistakes and ensuring alignment between items and construct definitions, you maintain the integrity of your study and produce accurate data. Thank you for watching this video. We hope this information helps you design a high-quality questionnaire for your research.